Now, homeopathy is a system of medicine that is not really practiced in today's medical world. It's outside the circle. It wasn't always that way. In the 19th century, it was very much a part of the treatment in Canada and all over the world. It is a system of medicine that is, it works through energy. It's a vibrational medicine. There's a special way to make that, and I'll get into it. And what it does, how it heals, is just simply triggers the healer within us, our vital force, to heal ourselves. It doesn't do anything on its own. So as a result of that, it doesn't have side effects, unlike our current system of drug medication. Modern medicine does not like homeopathy because there's no money in it. You can't make a lot of money. I think there's a lot of other reasons too. It works very well. It works on a basis of like cures like. And this is very difficult to understand, but it does work. Like say, for example, if you have a flu, we'll take the energy of that flu and we'll give you that medicine, that flu medicine, and it'll cure the flu that you have. Like cures like. Now, the medicine is made by taking a sample of the disease, or in another case, if you're doing it from medicine of a plant or whatever, you can make homeopathy from just about any kind of substance there is. And you put that in a menstruum, like say a liter of water, and that subcaustic, a shake that makes it dynamic. Then they take a drop of that and put it into another liter, do the same thing again, and they'll keep going on and on until they've got the right dilution they're looking for. By the time you've done this 12 times, there's no molecules left of the original plant or substance. So now you're working on the imprint of the energy only. And you can go as high as 1,000, 10,000 dilutions, 50,000 dilutions even. This doesn't make the medicine stronger, but it makes it more profound. A more practical example was in the 19th century, Canada was subject to a number of cholera epidemics. It was a terrible disease. It cost a lot of lives, and it was all over the world. Back then we had, or not too sure about Canada, but in the United States, we had hospitals that ran on homeopathic medicine. We had hospitals that ran on drugs. Now the results of comparing the two together, making a homeopathic cholera and giving it to somebody with a disease, the death rate in a homeopathic hospital was down to 19% and dropping, whereas in an allopathic hospital, allopathic means drugs, it was at 54% and rising. In virtually every case in these disease situations, the homeopathic medicine outperformed the drug, and with no consequent side effects. Officially, homeopathy began 200 years ago. It was discovered by a Dr. Hahnemann in Germany. He was an amazing doctor. Some of his practices were about what we talked about last night. Like he believed he can tell more about a person's state of health by reading their magnetic field than he could by reading their pulse. That was 200 years ago. He developed a number of very fascinating remedies. He began the homeopathic ordinatio, and about 200 different remedies he came up with. It was a good beginning, but it needed a lot more work, because at that time he was working basically with male students in Germany. This did not take into fact the different races of people around the world, and also women. Homeopathy, and to my mind, it's my opinion that it began in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. It's kind of come and gone since then. Paracelsus, who lived 500 years ago, was probably the most amazing doctor who ever lived. There was no disease that he could not cure. Always the central core principle of his work was working with the vital force within. And because homeopathy works so well that way, I'm sure that he had a version of that at that time 500 years ago. Now, how do you what form does this medicine come in, and how do you take it? Generally in a liquid form. It's usually in an alcohol base to preserve the energy. Alcohol seems to do that better than any other form of menstruum. For people who do not want the alcohol, like for example when you're dealing with babies, because this medicine you can give to newborn babies without any harm, they put it in little white chalky calcium pills. These medicines are not swallowed as ordinary medicines do. you put these medicines under your tongue or on top of your tongue. And the reason why is because you have a gland under the tongue called the sublingual gland that absorbs medicine straight into the bloodstream. In other words, you're going to get this remedy into your blood within 4 minutes, as opposed to taking a pill, have it sit in your stomach for an hour and break down, and maybe not break down at all, go right through you. Another very good way to take homeopathic medicine is transdermal on the skin. So a lot of creams are made from homeopathic medicine. Another way that's even better, but it's rarely used here, is through a suppository. Because treating certain disorders like candida, which is more in that area of the body, a homeopathic suppository works much better.